So I needed a way to make this video. As funny as it sounds, I try to dig deep, but at the same time, I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you guys, because I feel like this ain't no damn infomercial, right? Like infomercial, whatever you want to call it, where I'm just gonna bullshit you to death and tell you what you need to eat, whatever, to become ripped and shit. Like, no. So if y'all want to know what's my meal plan, and y'all want to know exactly what I did to lose that amount of weight in a short period of time, you're at the right video. Now, I'm not going to show you guys in-depth workouts in this video. I might show you a few things, but this is just at home. I'll show you the more gym-like stuff when I get to a more appropriate weight that I feel comfortable at and more comfortable with, to the point where I wouldn't care to be on camera. Until then, I will show you stuff where if I'm outside or at the park or at my own home. And also understand, any workout that I do at home is not 100% the same as if I was at the gym. Because at the gym, I go 10 times harder. At home, it's more or less like making sure I'm active enough, right? This was a pretty long-ass intro, but let's get this shit on and popping.
Stop sleeping on, stop sleeping on, stop sleeping on me. Don't sleep on me, don't keep on me, don't keep on me. Don't let me fall down, don't sleep on me, please don't keep on me, don't keep on me. No, don't let me fall down, 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 don't let me fall down. Don't sleep on me, please don't keep on me, don't sleep on me.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy 3MG. We are back with another video, and since the day I put up that one picture, and if you guys don't know which picture, I'll show you guys right now. On Twitter, a lot of you guys showed a tremendous amount of support, and I really appreciate that. I think for a while now, a lot of you kind of like seen that I was gaining a lot of weight. Like, I was up and down, and then at just one point, I was just going crazy. I was just putting on so much weight. And in fact, I felt like I was getting sick a lot too. And I don't think sick like health-wise. I just was just not taking care of myself. Whether I was leaving the house with no damn jacket and it was cold, I just stopped caring for myself in terms of just my health. But this whole thing, like it's gonna be about like 3 months, right? But the little small transformation that I've made, I feel like it's enough for me to feel at least proud of myself for whatever I've achieved. And it's gonna make me, you know, go even further and go even harder in the future, because I just want to become even more healthier. And at the same time, as a man, I want to look and feel good. You know, I don't want to just feel good. I want to look and feel good. That's just me personally. But a lot of you asked me on Twitter, yo, what the hell are you doing? Or what are you eating? What is your diet looking like? And I'm also getting a lot of different questions in terms of what supplements I'm taking. So we're going to talk about supplements first. Then we're going to talk about what's my meal plan, and then what kind of workouts I do and how I routinely just make this possible at a day-by-day basis. And I'm also going to make it very clear that I'm not the perfect person. You know, like, I'm not going to spit you some gimmick, or I'm not going to spit you some bullshit where I'm going to use big words in this video. No, I'm using the most simplest words possible to let you know I'm coming from straight from here on the camera. I am no one to make it seem like I'm a big crazy person or someone of a celebrity that's gonna hit you with some gimmicks and shit. I'm not about that. So let's talk about the supplements first. First off, I don't take, the only thing I would say I take is, of course, my vitamin, which at the same time, I take one a day, men. I guess this is just a multi whatever with vitamin D, whatever. I take this. I suggest a lot of people take multivitamins. Some people just don't want to. I take the gummy ones. In fact, I have a buddy of mine who hits the gym. He takes Flintstone gummies. I'm not even trying to kid, but he takes like 4 of them. And he's like, yo, I don't want to take none of this crazy Mega Man, whatever, sport, whatever, all these other vitamins, when at the same time, some of them have chemicals in it. So he's like, yo, I just take the Flintstone joints. Like, as long as he's absorbing some sort of kind of like energy or something for vitamin C, for digestion, for his immune system, he's taking that. Another thing I take, and I don't suggest people take this unless they know what their goal is and probably what they're dedicated, you know, in terms of their workout. But for more blood flow and vascularity, I take L-arginine, and that's always been something I've been. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if you guys, you know. This was something that I was addicted to, like, and not even like in a way where I was popping too many. No, I followed the right, you know, directions to how to take these pills. But pretty much this serves as like a nitric oxide, and pretty much if you want to look like make it simple for you guys. If you want veins and you want your shits to pop, not only do you need to eat foods that consist of like these type of amino acids, but you're gonna need to eat these types of foods that are healthy, that's gonna also, you know, try to shred fat off your body, because there is foods that also can help you burn more fat faster and more easy instead of taking fat burning pills. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've taken so much different toxic badass pills in the past, and I thank God that it did not affect me today, and I'm hoping it doesn't catch on to me later, but I don't suggest you take fat burning pills. That shit can fuck you up later on in life. I was taking some shit called Oxy Elite Pro. It shit made me go from like 250 something to like 160 in a matter of like 6 months, and it suppressed the hell out of my appetite. I didn't look sick, but it made me like super skinny, and that's how I started building up. Learned months later after that, during that time, that like 40 something people died from it, and people was catching liver disease and all that shit because they had ingredients that were never disclosed or whatnot. That's some dangerous shit. So I suggest you stay away from fat burning pills, and you try to look up foods that may have like fat burning, I guess, consistencies or some, you know, fuel in it. Also, by the way, if you're someone who, you know, don't enjoy eating vegetables as much, I mean, yo, it's very important that you try to consume some greens. But this is another product that I would suggest. It's crazy how I just said I don't take products, but literally it took me so long to find something that's like this. Is organic. It's a powder, and it's called Organic Greens plus superfoods and multivitamins. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and it's vegan. That's the reason why I got this, because I know there's moments where I don't eat a lot of vegetables and I don't want to blend. So I'll take some fruits and then I'll pour this right here. I'll put the link in the description. It's like 15 bucks on Amazon. And you blend it, and it has so much in it. Like I know you can't really read these, but there's so much, and it literally has the same effect as vegetables. It's a powdered substance, and it's the only thing I would probably suggest alongside, you know, the vitamins that you would take, because it's literally all superfoods. It's vegan, and it's not prepared the same way as just other foods where it's using chemicals and stuff like that to keep it active. No, it's literally like, it has an expiration date, of course, but literally this shit is really good. Like it tastes fine for me. If you do have a problem with it, just try to mix it in some fruits, man. You have to sacrifice. It's all about sacrificing. That being said, I take these two things, and I don't necessarily take anything else. Do not take this shit if you're someone, and I'm being this serious. I wasn't taking this until I started seeing a little bit of veins coming out. Because if you are fat, if you're someone who has a lot of weight, or even if you're skinny and you don't have your veins showing, that must mean you don't drink a lot of water, you're not hydrating yourself. I don't suggest you go for this. This is not going to burn fat. It's going to pretty much flow, you know, enough blood flow as you're working out and pumping. So I like that shit, because that's what really gets me going. The whole veins popping out, it's kind of like a mental thing. I look at my veins and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm losing some weight. I'm shredding fat off my body, and I'm starting to see veins in certain parts of my body pop out. When you're overweight, some people don't see those veins. You know what I'm saying? I think very simple logic. That's how I look at it. That being said, let's move the supplements out the way. If you want to take fish oils or anything else, B complex, that's fine too. But don't try to take too many pills at once. Try to find something that incorporates or has all these different, like, I guess, amino acids and stuff like that in one. Don't try to pop so many different pills. I'm just not a fan of that shit. Number 2, let's talk about my meal plan. What I do, how I lost this weight. What I eat now versus what I was eating for those 2 months is a little bit different. When I first started this, it was more like a goal that I wanted to reach, because I was supposed to head to a certain destination for a vacation, which didn't plan out right. But pretty much I was on a strict ass diet. So I ate like crazy the day before I started. But what it was 2 liquefied meals and 1 solid meal. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're gonna sit here, watch this video, and you're gonna say some shit like, nah, I can't do it, click off the video. Because I don't got time for people to like ask me for help or ask me for my advice or opinion, and I go out my way to make this type of video, and then you're gonna sit back and say, nah, I ain't gonna do that. It's all about making sacrifices. If it's the case that you were eating healthy in the first place, or eating foods that do not create more fatty acids or all those pocket fats in your body, you wouldn't be watching this in the first place. You would probably be trying to preach this type of shit to someone else. But this is the sacrifice I made. I went from eating mayonnaise on everything, ketchup on everything, sugars and everything, bread, fried foods, fried pork. I ate pizza like crazy. I was eating all this weird, nasty shit. I never ate Chinese food. I'm not a fan of that. McDonald's, Burger King, no. But I was just eating so much of like bread type foods, and it put so much weight on me to the point where I was like, you know what, we're gonna go with this diet. So I sacrificed all that shit. No more cookies, none of that bullshit, and literally had vegetables. And I wrote down some on this list in case a lot of you were wondering, like, yo, which vegetables and fruits should I blend together and if they would taste good. In the morning, I don't juice. Juicing and blending your meals is kind of different. When you juice, I feel like you're still starving, like you're still hungry, because juicing liquefies it like as if you was drinking apple juice in a sense of its consistency and texture. And I don't think that works, because you're still gonna be hungry. All the extra gook and all that other shit gets thrown out. When you blend your meals, you're just liquefying all the solids. So what I did was I would take shit like apples, oranges, papayas, pineapples, pomegranate, grapefruit, grapes, melon, lemons, kiwis, bananas, mangoes, avocados, and peaches. And then for vegetables, you would have beets, broccolis, carrots, cucumber, greens. You have celery, cabbage, tomatoes, kale, squash, spinach. I never really ate squash like that, but spinach and other herbs and stuff like that. I would find balances between each. And in the morning, if you guys are probably gonna watch this part right here, you're gonna see like I'm showing you my setup. I would blend a bunch of that in the morning with some almond milk or water and drink that as breakfast. It would keep me full. All that fiber that I'm consuming would keep me actually full. Then I would have one solid meal midday for lunch. And for lunch, I would probably either have sushi, because rice, people have this misconception like rice is fattening. No, that if you look at the Asian culture and just what they eat as their diet, like for example, Chinese people, they eat fish and rice and they always maintain their weight for a reason, right? So no fried rice. I would have sushi or I'd have meat. The thing is, I'm very picky with the kind of chicken that I eat. And I don't even eat chicken like that anymore. Like for some reason, it just happened. I didn't choose this. Like I eat meat maybe twice a week, but it would always be like white meat. And I'll even have a chicken wing or two. Like that's something I would even eat, but I have small portions of it. So you need to have a very small portion for lunch. You can't have no big meal for lunch either. And then for dinner, I would have, again, vegetables with fruits blended together. Now, if you want to know specifics, go to my Instagram and DM me. Follow me and DM me and be like, yo, I want like a small little meal plan. Please help your boy out. I'm this weight, I'm that size, I'm this height. I'm trying to reach my goal here. That's very simple shit that I do for lunch. When I finally started losing enough weight, because the first 3 days was hell, like, and I'm sorry if this video is so long, but my first few days I was like withdrawals. Like, dude, all the junk food that I was eating is all mental, and it's all like from your ghrelin and everything. So your body is pretty much, I guess, disciplined to the point where you feel like you need junk food. And I remember this nurse told me, she was like, yo, always look at it like this. I used to tell her, like, how come you're not eating? Like, you just eat some greens here and there. You don't really stress eating pizza, nothing like that. And she was like, because I don't eat till I don't live to eat. Like, I'm not here waking up every day looking to eat like the best looking foods. I eat to live. And in that concept, I looked at it like, yo, that's crazy. Like, that's something I need to apply. Why do we have to care about food? Why do we give a shit about food? Think about it. It's all mental. The idea that people get mood swings, people create these weird narratives like, oh my God, I have nothing to eat in this house. But when you open up the fridge, you do have vegetables and stuff. We just don't want that. We kind of spoiled ourselves in this type of lifestyle that we kind of like, you know, stray towards the bad shit, junk food, chocolate milk, donuts and junk, you know, all that bullshit. Whereas there's people in countries who don't eat shit like that, and they eat the most healthiest shit because they have no choice to, and they live for longer lives. Yet all of our youth is catching cancer early, and that's just being real as fuck. So yeah, you have to really sacrifice and try, and you know, you have to get out of that shit. You're gonna go through like a weird withdrawal phase if you've been eating unhealthy for so long. But once you get through that 5 days or even that week or 2 weeks, you start noticing your energy levels go up, your happiness goes up, you start to see better, think clearer, because believe it or not, your foods and the foods that we eat today, all these chemicals affects a lot of that. Your hearing, your smell, your sight. You don't believe me? You can do your research. It really affects you. Once you start to clean that shit out, you're pretty much filtering out your body. You take better shits. I'm being dead serious. Like me, I had a hard time, yo. I used to, like, I'm gonna keep it funky with you, bleeding shit. I used to be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong? Cancer? I was getting scared. My body just doesn't digest bread and all that other bullshit well compared to other people. But at the same time, even if you know you digest well, even eating unhealthy, you should still try to clean that up a bit, because all it takes is another couple of years and all of a sudden your system becomes fucked up and you can't really eat these types of foods anymore. But yeah, you should really try to focus on sacrificing and really eliminating these foods. I don't know how serious this kid was, but he said, yo, is it bad to eat pork after you work out? And I was like, yo, I want to block him so bad, but maybe he's serious. What if he's dead ass serious? So I was like, yo, dude, pork is extremely bad for you. Like, dude, that's the fat of a pig. Like, why would you eat the fat of a pig? You know what I mean? So try to stay away from those types of foods. If you have a problem and you know you can't really, you know, stop right away, at least make it a stretch goal or a habit, or try to create better habits to maybe not eat so bad. Like, what's the problem, you know? And I'm saying that now because obviously I'm more disciplined now, but at the time I thought, you know, myself, like, yo, I can't do this shit. And I was getting depressed, sad, moody, mood swings. I was fucking cursing and doing all this other weird shit because I'm like, yo, I wanted junk food. Once that shit kind of strayed away, don't get me wrong, I got my moments where I'm like, damn, I wish I had this. But I feel so good now that I'm just like, but I want to aim for this six-pack. I want to get better in my health. You know what I'm saying? And all those weird scares that I got at the doctor, I was like, yo, I don't want to suffer from shit like this in the future. Hell no. So I had to clean my act up. And if you guys look at my old videos and my old pictures, I used to be fucking shredded as shit. It just happens that, you know, over time I got lazy and all the other shit, and my discipline levels was terrible in terms of being active. But yes, that's pretty much what I do for my meals. And once again, if you want to know specifics, just hit me up. But my lunch is always simple. If I even have a wrap, because wrap, you know, is like bread, I'll eat that like once or twice a week. I don't eat bread often. I don't. And if it's once throughout the day, the other vegetables and fibers that I'm eating is pretty much helping me digest everything anyways. And I'm at a much faster rate because my metabolism is super slow. That being said, that's the most simplest thing. Now, if you want to know even more specifics, once again, hit me up on Instagram. But let's talk about my workouts. So I used to be a weight dude. Like, I used to lift like 260 and shit, bench press and all that shit. I used to be crazy with it. I don't care for that shit no more, nor do I want to lift heavy. My thing always been, when I used to lift heavy, I used to be extremely hungry. All that energy I used to burn and just kill, and calories and everything, I used to want to eat because I was like, you know what, that's gonna be fuel for me. But I used to eat unhealthy shit. Now I'll lift, you know, somewhat heavy. Like, I wouldn't bench 260. I would probably bench like 150. I don't care, because I'm looking to cut up. I'm looking to get cut up, lose some fat. I do a lot of reps when it comes down to all my workouts. And if you want to know specific workouts, I'll make a separate video on that. I'm gonna just show you guys a little bit of stuff I do in the house here. But at home, I do things in terms of, like, how do you call it, supersetting. So I'll do a bunch of different things, different circuits, just to get the sweat going and just to get a little bit of a pump. I don't necessarily do crazy workouts here to gain muscle. I just do things as like a calisthenic workout or cardio workout, knowing that I'm not going to go outside today, or if I wasn't able to make it to the gym. Very simple stuff I do. I don't do nothing crazy. I don't really look to try to like inject myself with steroids. People be doing all that crazy shit. I do the Stairmaster as well. The Stairmaster is crazy, especially when you do intervals, different intervals. A lot of people like to do like running fast for 1 minute, then walking for 1 minute. I do like 20-25 minutes on the treadmill, and I try to do incline and run during my incline sessions. Like, I try to do that a lot. But after, me and my boy, we play handball, and you know, that dude is motivating me, you know what I mean? So we keep going to the gym, and we're playing handball for almost an hour. So that's even more cardio, sprinting. Then we'll do back, you know, lateral rows, we'll do lat pull downs, we'll do a whole bunch of shit. And over time, I realize I'm not gaining muscle. I've always had my muscle here. You know, muscle memory, and your body just is able to rebuild as long as you maintain your health. And it was just cutting up all my fat, and I started seeing my lats again. I started seeing my shoulders, my arms was getting cut up again. And you know, my face was slimming down a little bit. My face and my stomach is always going to be the most hardest part to lose. Understand like this, if you follow that diet format, and I suggest anyone, you're still eating food, you're not starving yourself, you just got to minimize your portions and blend how I, you know, as I'm doing it, you start to get more hungry, but at the same time, it's all mental. And when you start burning more fat, your body's gonna take from the stubborn areas, it's gonna take from the other fatty areas of your body, and it's gonna start using that as fuel, and you'll start burning that even faster. You create these type of good habits, and you start doing even more shit to help. Like, I be working out at home even after the gym, just because I'm like, yo, I feel good. I'm not overdoing it to the point where I'm gonna burn myself out, but I just feel extremely good. And I'm just breaking sweats. Like, after this video, I'm gonna go ahead and work out again at the crib, you know, bump some music. And that's another thing too, you better have a lit ass playlist. Don't watch no damn podcast while you run. Have music playing, because when you lifting weights and, you know, running, you need some sort of motivation. I'll tell you guys my 2018 playlist if y'all interested in another video, but I really go in with that shit. And me and my boy, whether if it's legs, abs, shoulders, chest, back, arms, we really doing it. You know, we really going in there, and I'm making sure we don't hit free weight all the way, because I want to make sure I get him at his appropriate weight that he wants to lose, because I don't want him to lift heavy. And plus, we have to work on his posture. That's something else I could do in another video. But that's pretty much simple. I try to erase bad habits, figured out what was I eating that I need to eliminate. Then I started creating better habits. I started sleeping better, because sleep is the most important thing possible. If you're someone who sleeps late, or if you're someone who works overnight and then you don't sleep during the day and you eat bad and you lay down, don't do shit like that. You can gain weight like that. You create acid reflux, you create all this other shit. I don't suggest anyone eating late knowing that you're going to go to bed probably within that hour. Try to eat, if you're someone who's a day person, try to eat between the time of 7 a.m. and 5 or 6 p.m. If you're someone who works overnight or gets home late, you're gonna have to sacrifice and make sure you don't eat breakfast until 10 a.m. and then put your lunchtime during the middle of that day and then eat maybe when you get home. But you gotta keep in that idea that you gain weight when you eat late is bullshit, only because there's people who work overnight shifts and so they sleep throughout the day and that's how they process. And I've seen a lot of people who are fit. It's just the way you manage your body now. If you're up all day and then all night, you're now ruining your cycle and you burn the most calories when you sleep. I'm still struggling with my sleeping habits and my sleep patterns aren't the best, but you burn the most. You feel better, you get more energy from there too. A lot of people suffer from depression, stress, anxiety, all this other stuff. And a lot of it comes down to like the lack of sleep can create mood swings, can make people sad and depressed. And then when you eat bad, it creates all these weird habits. You need to really start fixing these habits. You need to adjust and try to look at things and say, listen, this month is gonna go by fast. Why not apply these better habits for this month? Me myself was struggling on that, but now I'm like, yo, I'm 3 months in now, and I'm like, yo, August is gonna go by fast too, so I'm gonna go hard for August. I'm glad I got that mindset now, but it is tough. That's why I'm here for you guys. If you want to hit me up, like I said, Instagram and Twitter is always the best. Let me know if any video suggestions. I would really appreciate that too in the comment section below if you give me any video suggestions. And I guess until then, health is wealth. We take advantage of this. There's a lot of countries where people eat basic, healthy foods and they live for years. We have access to way more, but yet we're killing ourselves early. Why are we eating? Why are we living to eat? We should be eating to live. It's your boy 3MG. God bless everybody. If you have any questions, once again, Twitter, Instagram, comment section below. God bless. Peace.